Jacksonville State Volleyball getting ready for another big weekend coming up as they'll host their own tournament. The Gamecock Classic starts this Friday afternoon as our ladies will be in action. Actually, at 2 o'clock, they'll take on Kennesaw, and then Friday night at 7 p.m. back into action will be the Gamecocks, and then Saturday, 11:30, and then again 7 o'clock after the football game on Saturday night. You should be smiling, Terry Gamble, because it was a great week last week. Now, if we could just take North Dakota out of it, then everything was fine. But from that point on, 5 straight wins, including being a rude host and winning your own tournament last weekend.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll be a rude host when it comes out.
It works that way.
Yeah, no problem. No, I'm really happy with the girls. I think that we did some great things. I'm seeing improvement every single day. They're starting to figure it out, And the interesting part is, we're without 2 starters. And so for these guys to step up, they beat a really nice New Orleans team. They beat a really, really good UAB team. And I just keep seeing them improving. And like I told them yesterday in our team meetings and film session, that, now the bar is even raised more, when you have 11 new kids in the program, 9 freshmen, and you go and do that. Now the bar keeps growing, which is good.
You mentioned the 2 starters, one of those being your setter, but Rachel Perucki and Shelly Schmidt have come in and performed very well there, haven't they?
Yeah, they've done a nice job. I mean, we miss Jen's court presence, obviously. I mean, she's just great on the court. The girls love playing for her. But those 2 freshmen have come in and done a nice job. We've had some outstanding things. Hannah Kirk this week, oh my God. I mean, she's coming into her own. And, Allyson Zuhlke, when you hit 700 for 2 matches in a row and then 5.
It's not bad, is it?
No, it's okay. I mean, no, it's incredible. I'm not sure people do that in warm-ups very often, let alone in a match. So, I'm really happy with where we're going. We got a lot of improvement to do, a lot of learning to do, but it's a great start where we're at.
I'm old, so I remember Bill Walton. They called him the big redhead. So Miss Zuhlke is now your form of the big redhead. I know. Well, she hit 461 for the week, and as you mentioned, 2 matches where she hit 700 or plus. Have you ever had anybody do that before?
No, but how do you hit 700 twice and average 416? That means the other game you were pretty low, doesn't it? No, I can say since she's in there. No, I've never had a kid do that ever in my career, and to watch her do that and not only do it, throughout the week, but to do it against good teams at crunch time, I mean, that speaks for, I don't think a year ago she could have did that, to be honest with you. At crunch time, she used to hit balls out, kind of frustrated us, but I see Allyson growing, and to do that at important times in the match, that's just huge. And to do that for a week, and she was offensive player for the week, OVC, right. And well deserved. I mean, I can't, that's her work ethic. That's what she's doing. And, we found out, Daniel kind of embarrassed me this morning because we've been really preaching blocking. I think that we've been struggling at it, and he informed me that we were number 1 in the country this morning. I was like, holy cow, we're what? And we'll probably won't block a ball this weekend, but that goes Mackenzie Rombach. She's, I think, 4th now. It's the girls are really buying in, and we're still going to make mistakes. We still got a lot of freshmen, still a lot of kids, but the expectations for them now are bigger from what they've done this week.
All right, tournament last weekend was a very good field, and it's a good, strong field again this weekend, correct?
Yeah, I think overall it's probably a better all-around field. Not that this weekend was bad. I mean, UAB, New Orleans is really good, but all 4 teams, I mean, when you bring Kennesaw State in, they're really good. And then you got Evansville, you got Nichols. Those teams are really good. And then our 4th one, who is our 4th one? I'm worried about Kennesaw.
Louisiana Monroe.
Oh, Louisiana. Patrick, yeah, one of my good friends.
Are you sure he is?
Well, not this weekend, he's not. But all 4 of them are really good, so we're excited, and it's a good weekend to get us ready and in preparation for, conference. So that's what we wanted, and I'm excited about it. Playing at home another week in a row, and, last weekend, I got to throw these plugs out. Thank you to Jefferson's for last weekend. They were our host, tournament host and sponsor. And this weekend it's Mike Douglas, and State Farm. So a lot of this stuff that we do for our kids, we can't do without our sponsors. And I want to thank them. It's really an honor and pleasure working with those guys.
Last thing, 5 straight wins. You should have slept pretty good this week.
Well, that's the crazy part. I'm back watching film. I'm 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And, the cool thing now, my wife did this. She went back to the last time, that Jacksonville State won a tournament. And it was like 6-7 years ago, she said. So, that's an honor for those kids. I sleep deeper. I've slept deeper, but I haven't slept more. I'll tell you that. I'm up last night, 3:00 watching film, and it's just part of preseason or the season, and that's how coaches work.
Thanks, sir. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, buddy.
Jacksonville State getting ready for their own tournament after the success of the one last weekend. You win the tournament, Mackenzie, and you played a huge part in that. A lot of fun, I would think, in all those matches last week with the 5 straight wins.
Yeah, thank you. It was definitely great wins, and we're looking forward to taking more wins this weekend coming up.
All right, your second year as a sophomore now, with all that experience you got last year as a freshman, but is it a little easier? Are you more comfortable now out there on the floor?
Yeah, definitely with the atmosphere, and it's not exactly easier because there's more improvement to come in, but, there's a lot more confidence out on the floor, definitely.
I'm sure last year that as the season went on, you got more accustomed to it, but the speed of the game, I would think it's probably a little easier now than it was when you first got here a year ago.
Definitely. I've grown accustomed to everything now, so, I'm ready for it.
A whole lot of new faces. Did you have to wear name tags during preseason camp before the year got started?
Only for a couple days, and then we got past that. So, yeah, but they definitely have made great leaps and bounds, and everyone knows everyone now, so that's good.
The success you had last week, obviously, everybody had to play very well to do that because of some of your opponents. Can you see the team growing from a chemistry or a bond standpoint, even though it's still earlier in the year?
Definitely. At the beginning of the year, we had some instances where our focuses weren't there, but now as the season goes on, our focus has gotten stronger together as well as the team bonding.
The first weekend you went to Air Force and played some tough opponents there. Weekend number 2 you did. Then you come here and playing the tough schedule early. Did that help this past weekend in the tournament?
Definitely, because we learned from those mistakes that we made in those past 2 tournaments. But, yeah, it's definitely – you can see it on the court now, that people are trying to make improvements, and we're working together hard, yeah.
Excited and looking forward to this weekend now?
Definitely. I'm looking for a 4-0 again.
It is my privilege to sit next to the OVC Player of the Week this week in women's volleyball as Allyson Zuhlke had a phenomenal week. Hit .461 for the week, had 2 of the matches for Jacksonville State where she hit 700 or better, and highlighting the Gamecocks' 5-1 week and the 5 straight wins. Congratulations. I know since you've been here, you haven't had a week like that. Can you think back to your high school career or club or anything where you hit the ball as well as you did this past week?
Thank you. No, this is definitely, I think, the best week I've had so far in my career. It's just an honor to be able to earn anything for the Gamecock family and our program, so I'm very proud to be able to do it for us.
So are you doing everything the same way this week that you did last week, eating the same food and all that stuff?
I am, yeah. Everything's the same. Wake up at the same time, same naps, everything.
I tell you, I go back to the Alcorn match last Wednesday. You got in the zone there and hit, I think, 700 against them. You were in double digits in kills, I think, in all but one of the matches last week. You blocked very well, too. What's the difference? Are you just more comfortable on the floor or a whole lot more confidence? What is it?
I think the maturity has helped. From freshman year, really shaky. Last year was a little bit better, but this year I think coming into it knowing we are the leaders of the team, being juniors and having no seniors, I think that definitely helped us almost force us to take that step up. And so all of it, focusing in on that, and I think that's really helped us step up our game.
No seniors, so what? 4 juniors and
juniors.
5 juniors. I'm sorry, and you've lost one of those now that Jen's out. So, from a leadership standpoint, is it up to you all each day to lead, practice, and then when you get to the matches and that sort of thing?
It is. It's a group effort, but I think us pointing out the little things. At practice, we had to point out a couple of things that we had to run for, but that's just part of being a leader and holding the team accountable.
I guess it goes back to camp when it first started and learning how to do things the right way.
Lots of learning has taken place so far, on and off the court.
A lot of new faces. Did that take you a little bit of an adjustment period in getting ready for the season?
That was definitely an adjustment. We went from last year maybe having 4 or 5 new faces to 11, and they outnumbered us actually. So it was adjusting, but I think we've grown a lot closer. We've gelled. We can feel each other more on the court now, and so I think it's a good mix. It was nice for us to be able to. It helped us become better leaders by having to teach so many new kids our program and everything that we expect.
Kim Krutzinger's out, and then you lose Jennifer Hart. Have you put a little more pressure on yourself to raise your level, to raise your game?
Yeah, I've tried to step up for those people that we have lost, just almost not take it back to like normalcy, but just to help in the areas that we have gone down, to help, not gone down, but like just like help raise up the level as much as possible from what we have lost.
This weekend, are you looking forward, obviously, to this, but do you know anything about your opponents coming up in Kennesaw, Louisiana Monroe, and Evansville, and Nicholls State?
I don't know a lot about Evansville and Nicholls State, but I do know Kennesaw from last year. They're a very good team. I know, so I'm ready for that, and I'm ready for ULM. We're actually pretty good friends with them from last year.
Beach volleyball, too.
Yeah, from playing them indoor last year. We played them, I think, 5 times in beach this year, and we actually got to practice and hang out with them a lot. So we're really excited for that game.
A lot of fun right now, isn't it?
It is. It is a lot of fun.
Hope it continues. Good luck.
Thank you.
Allyson Zuhlke and Jacksonville State will be at home hosting their own event this weekend. Again, the ladies will play at 2 o'clock Friday afternoon versus Kennesaw, Friday night at 7 versus Nicholls State. Then Saturday, before the football game at 11:30, Jacksonville State back into action. And then on 7 o'clock against Louisiana Monroe following the football game Saturday night. Free admission for Jacksonville State volleyball at Pete Matthews Coliseum.